happy birthday, Lynn.
Thank you, thank you.
When you look back as a young kid in Tennessee and you take up the game of basketball, did you ever think all these decades later you would still be such a focus of your life?
Well, let me clarify that. I took up the game in Alabama. Born in Tennessee, grew up in Alabama, moved back to Tennessee. Always loved basketball, and I thank my father for that. I thank my mother for that. They were both into sports. But I don't think 70-something years ago, 70-something, that I thought I would be sitting here today involved again with Indiana Fever. Love the challenge, love being here, love working with these people.
A couple of practices that we've seen, they're going hard in this first part of the season. Kind of just tell me about this early rhythm you're trying to find with this group, and it seems like you're really testing the girls right out the gate here.
Well, it's when you're trying to put in a new offensive system and a new defensive system in a short period of time, it's very challenging. But you can always demand a high level of energy and effort as you work to get the pieces in. And I think a year from now, it'll just be reviewing the system that you've already put in. So it's a little bit more challenging the first time you're putting in both ends offensively and defensively. But I've been really impressed with how hard they're working.
A lot of what we could see is you sitting and watching those practices. What has stood out to you about this group you'd assembled, and what do you feel like they're going to be able to do on the court this year?
Effort, energy, versatility. I've seen some players that can play multiple positions. It's great to see Erica Wheeler back in a Indiana Fever uniform where she belongs, and her leadership skills, her as a point guard and off the court too. I'm very impressed with our first-round draft picks and how quickly they've adjusted. I think they've, in particular, Grace and Aaliyah and Taylor, who've played at a high-level team, South Carolina, Indiana, and Ohio State, some of the best teams in the nation. And so they've really picked up quickly what we're doing, and that's caught my attention. The effort and energy I see from the staff, I'm really impressed with this young coaching staff. They bring energy just as much as the players do.
You obviously talked when Christy was hired about how important was it to have a coach that was focused on defense, and obviously that's an area where you guys need to get a lot better. What do you like about this team's sort of character defensively in terms of how it's built to be a defensive team? What stands out to you about just the components you have to play defense so far?
I think every team needs to have an identity. And so what is an identity of an Indiana Fever team? Well, you always know they're going to defend. Night in and night out, whether the shots fall or not, we're going to defend. And I think that's the thing that Christy's trying to establish right from the beginning, that's who we are. And our defense will be disruptive, and our defense will create points for us. And I think that's been the emphasis, in my opinion, for the first week. It's tough to play defense, 24/7 for 40 minutes. And you've got to instill those habits in these players.
Lynn, you've been around top-level talent at the college level and the pro level. Sometimes great college players don't always translate. Is there a key ingredient to make that adjustment, to make that leap and bring that game with you to the pros?
I think there's a couple of key ingredients. I do think, having competed at the highest level against the best players, I use Grace Berger for an example, who competed, I think, 4 or 5 times this season against Caitlin Clark, who many consider the best player in the country in the college game. So who have you competed with and who have you competed against? Because that is what's going to prepare you for the next level. Can you come in and handle the physicality of the pro game? It's faster, the players are bigger, they're stronger, they're tougher, and so can you adapt to all of that? And I think some of the players that we've brought in here can do that.
Lynn, how have you seen Aaliyah impact this team already?
I think the first word I would use would be her poise. Most rookies, I don't care who you are, you seem to have the jitters or, you get a little frazzled. And I haven't seen that at all. She's very poised, she's very composed, she's very deliberate. And I think that again comes back to the experiences that she's had on and off the court, at the highest level, winning championships, playing against the best teams in the country, and being coached by our Olympic coach, Dawn Staley. All of that comes into the mix to help make her the person that she is today. And then I think we have to give her parents credit. You know, there's no doubt she's come from a wonderful family. She's been taught a lot of the things that matter off the court, and so she's the whole deal.
Obviously, going into camp, I think 13 of the 17 players were first or second year players. What's the closest analog you have to that kind of youth, whether as a college coach, as a pro coach?
I would say it reminds me of a kindergarten. You know, where you've got babies, and then you've got some that can toddlers, and then you've got a few that can actually probably need to graduate from kindergarten. And so I think we need to realize that this is a very young team. I'm not sure, Ryan may know if it's the youngest team in the league. But you have to be patient with those babies. You know, you have to give them a chance just like you do a baby. You know, they crawl, they walk, they run. And so you can't get too frustrated if they're going through that growing process. I think about Lexi Hull in her rookie season and where I see her now and the growth that I've seen in just one short year. And so that's another reminder to me is give them a chance to adapt, adjust, and grow.
You talked about the defensive identity, but on the offensive end, a lot of running, it seems like in camp so far. What do you feel like your identity and style is going to be on that end of the floor?
Well, I know Christy wants to be up-tempo. She wants to push the basketball. And I think early in transition, we're looking to get to the rim. We're looking to get early threes. We're looking to do what most of the teams in this league do, push, push, push. But we're also looking to find Aaliyah Boston. You know, we would be remiss if we're not finding touches for her in all of the offensive sets that we do. And that reminds me, one of the things that's unique about Aaliyah is because she's been double-teamed and triple-teamed in college, she's become a very good passer. And so when you go into her and you double her or drop and dig her, she knows where the open person is. And so the key for us is when she kicks it out, she's kicking it out to somebody that can knock down a three.
And last one for me, how tough was it for you and what conversation was there with Emily when you had to let her go a couple weeks ago?
It's always tough when you have to let a player go, especially someone that you care about. But I think, you know, in conversations, it was just the best thing for this team to move forward in a different direction, make sure that we had the right people on the bus and the right spots. And we only wish her the best.
Anybody else have anything in the room? Anybody on Zoom? Any questions for Lynn before we wrap up?
Nobody wants to ask me about my jacket?
Yeah, nobody.
Whoa. Well, I thought the theme was red and white and black, so I went in my closet and found everything I could find that was red, white, and black, so here we are.
Good birthday outfit.
It's my birthday outfit.
Birthday outfit. All right.